Hi, welcome or welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Mariandrea and this is my weekend review video. It is Sunday, December 1st, and I want to talk about what's been going on in my reading life during this last week in the United States, known as the week of the Thanksgiving holiday. So, highs and lows. My high was probably being able to host my immediate family for Thanksgiving and having been successful at preparing a meal and having it all turn out okay. No mishaps. Everything was really good, really tasty. Everybody enjoyed the food, and ultimately that was the goal, was to just enjoy company and enjoy a meal together, and in that regard I think I succeeded. It was a really nice Thanksgiving Day holiday. Lows? I don't really know that I can say there's a low. Oh yeah, new Christmas mug. Well, not new, but bringing it out for the first time since it's been put away. Having a chamomile tea. No, I wouldn't say there were any really. Well, I had to work on Friday, so that was a little bit stressful, but it was okay. It was okay. No complaints really. Just, I think, doing the best that I can. And that's all we can ask of ourselves sometimes. Community post. I have not put anything up on my community post. I have been meaning to put up that recipe from the cookie recipe from the cookie cake that I made last weekend. That was really good. I'm sorry that you all couldn't taste it, but I really enjoyed it. And I took a cookie cake to my friend and she really enjoyed it. So I need to put up the recipe, and I just haven't. Tags. I did a tag that I wasn't tagged to do, but I wanted to do it, and it was the nonfiction November tag. I tried filming it on November 30th, which was yesterday, and it didn't work out. It was a bit of a fail. I had a busy day. I had an event to go to with the nonprofit that I'm a part of, and I got this really cool shirt at this event, and so I'm wearing a new t-shirt today. But yeah, I had a lot going on. It just was too much, so I ended up filming it when I got home really late last night. So I haven't rewatched it since last night when I uploaded it. I hope I made some sense. It was really, really late. Books I've read. I haven't finished any books this week. And currently reading. So it's December, and at the beginning of the year I signed up for a read along, or the reading goal was to read Les Mis throughout the year with Melinda at a Web of Stories and a bunch of other people on her Discord. And I stopped posting to her Discord, to her thread on Les Mis, because I got behind, and I will get behind and then I'll try to catch up. And right now I'm in the catch up mode. I'm in this final stretch and I really want to finish. So I have Les Mis. I started it on audio. I am loving it so much. I think this is a masterpiece of a book. So I had to get myself the physical copy. I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those books that when I finish, I'm just going to want to start it over. That was kind of the feeling I had when I read Anna Karenina for the first time. I finished Anna Karenina and I just wanted to start it over again and annotate it. And I have a feeling this is going to be the case with Les Mis. I'm also still reading Season of the Swamp, so I put it down. Things got really busy, and I think it's one of those books that I ended up, no, I don't think, I know, it's one of the books that I ended up putting it in my basket, in my reading basket. And I forgot that it was there and it got lost. And then it wasn't in my book bag. And if it's not in my book bag, it's not going to get read as often. So we put up the Christmas tree today, and I was going through the basket and I'm like, oh, this book, I need to get back on it. I'm really enjoying it. So, it's a short one, so I should be able to finish it soon. And I started during the Thanksgiving holiday, Guilt and Ginataan by Mia P. Manansala. This is the fifth book, I think. I think this is the fifth book in the series, the Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery series. I'm really loving it. I love these characters so much. So I'm really, really enjoying it. And already it's making me want to remake that amazing corn ice cream that I just love so much. Because there's a lot of corn recipes in here, and I'm so excited to try them. So I'm on chapter 3, and I'm already just like loving it. I love the banter. I think Mia P. Manansala writes banter between her characters really, really well. And I am also early in the early chapters of Beartown by Fredrik Backman, and I'm reading this the Ellen Made Book Club already finished it. Ellen already posted a review of it, and they've moved on to the next books in the series, but I'm still in book 1, and I'm on chapter 2 of Beartown, so I'm still really, really like early. It's one of those books that gets read intermittently, so I'll keep on it and share thoughts when I finish. In terms of community projects or community connections, I am still with the Pineiro project on Voxer, and I'll link all the booktubers and subscribers and people participating in that in the description box. It's an ongoing, growing group, and we are, I think, just about to start talking about Time of the Flies, which is the most recent translated published book in the United States. And it is a sequel, so it is a follow-up to the characters of the book Tuya, or All Yours, and I think Tuya was the first book that she published. It's been 20 years, and I am really excited to talk about book Time of the Flies. I read it in Spanish, El Tiempo de las Moscas, and I really enjoyed it, but I cannot say more until I discuss it with the group on Boxer. I mentioned the LMA Book Club, so I have Beartown going, and I think there's a couple of other books that Ellen and the book club are reading, and I can't wait to get to them, but I'm trying to take it one book at a time. And I mentioned Melinda at Web Stories. I am reading Les Mis with her and other people in her Discord. And I'm also going to be rereading My Antonia with Melinda at Web Stories and other people on her Discord. For a podcast, I love LeVar Burton Reads, and it's been a while since I caught up and listened to some of those episodes. LeVar Burton Reads is a podcast that I especially love in the winter season, and that's most of the time that's when I listen to the podcast. And I was looking for a short story to listen to this evening that maybe would have some ghost stories. I'm also, I forgot to mention, I'm also participating in the read along or the reading event for The Ghosts of Christmas Past, hosted by Ben at reader, I think. I will link. I will include Finn's information and channel name. And there are other co-hosts for that. Debs from Rainer Reads is one of the co-hosts, and Mark from Booktime with Elvis is another one of the co-hosts for that event. Mark from the channel Booktime with Elvis is doing a read aloud of the group read, which is The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell. So check that out. That is really, really cool. I'm really excited to read ghost stories in the month of December. So with that in mind, I was looking for ghost stories through the LeVar Burton podcast. I'm not sure this is a ghost story, but it might be, and I'm really curious to read this. I wanted to share it in case any of you were interested, but I'm probably going to listen to this tonight. It's Mr. Mendoza's Paintbrush, and it is an episode of the LeVar Burton podcast, LeVar Burton Reads podcast. It was published on the 18th of March of this year. So Mr. Mendoza's Paintbrush is written by Luis Alberto Urrea. I see in Luis Alberto Urrea's website that it is available as a softcover graphic novel. And the publishing description says, "Be careful growing up in the green, wet, mango-sweet Mexican village of Rosario, where dead corpses rise up out of the cathedral walls during July when it always floods, where vast silver mines beneath the town occasionally collapse, causing a whole section of the village to drop out of sight, where a man with a paintbrush, to wit Mr. Mendoza, is the town's self-appointed conscience. Magic realism, you say to yourself." Luis Alberto Urrea affirms to the contrary, "Not magical realism. It's how kids grow up in Mexico, especially the year boy. And the part about Mr. Mendoza is really, really true. He brandishes his magical paintbrush everywhere, providing commentary to singe the hearts and souls of boys who are looking to get into trouble. If he catches you peeping at the girls bathing in the river, he'll steal your pants and paint pervert on your naked buttocks. And one day he performs a painterly act which no one in Rosario ever forgets." Luis Alberto Urrea is the author of the widely acclaimed novel The Hummingbird's Daughter and the 2005 Pulitzer Prize finalist for nonfiction for The Devil's Highway. Inducted into the Latino Literature Hall of Fame, Luis was born in Tijuana, Mexico, to a Mexican father and an American mother. This is his first graphic novel and a riveting book like Vatos, which young adults will love. Check out Luis's commentary on the upcoming Mr. Mendoza's Paintbrush graphic novel. And then from Luis, he writes on his website, it says, about Mr. Mendoza's Paintbrush, "This is probably my oldest story in print. It started in the late 70s and was refined in the early 80s. Thus, it is older than many of my writing students. I thought I was finally going to make it as a writer when I did a reading of it at Harvard in 1982. I didn't know I was infected with hubris. Imagine reading the story to the assembled greats of the Expos faculty. I was shocked when they gave it a generous applause. The story itself appears in the collection Six Kinds of Sky in this graphic novel format. This in graphic novel format makes me deliriously happy. Many of my readers know I started out wanting to either be Salvador Dali or maybe Mads Don Martin. It was also real art to me. I was an avid cartoonist, and I was also a very enthusiastic volunteer tattooist of the various arms, shoulders, chests, and bellies of my high school gal pals. Never had a radiograph pen been happier. Little sheep standing at the edges of belly buttons. It was innocent, honest. The fine artist Christopher Cardinal bade Stewie in the house went to Rosario, Sinaloa, and faced the heat, madness, and my family to get the lady of the land. What beautiful work he did. He later went on to do the cover for the millionth reissue of In Search of Snow, University of Arizona Press. Rosario, by the way, is the real-life Tres Camarones, the fanciful Mexican town in my novel, Into the Beautiful North. So I tell fans of that book to support Christopher by seeing what the town really looks like. Also, although Mr. Mendoza himself is a product of my own feverish imagination, He rises fully formed from the endless boasting, lying, myth-making, and Homeric babble of my cousins, Los Hubbard Urea. Rosario was my own Macondo. So I'm really excited to listen to LeVar Burton read that. And I am really curious. I want to check out that graphic novel. The artwork looks fantastic, and I just cannot wait. So I just thought I'd share that podcast because it's a bit of bookish excitement on my part here. And for recipe, I wanted to say that I officially think vanilla is underrated. You know, vanilla is classic, and it's often just kind of seen as boring, I think. But I love it. And definitely, if you ever get a chance to try to make homemade vanilla ice cream, do it. It is so much better than the store kind. I made vanilla ice cream for Thanksgiving because I thought it would go well with all the desserts. And it did. And I was really, really happy with it. Everything turned out great, but I think vanilla ice cream was my favorite. It was really, really good. My mouth is starting to water. It was so good. And I'm really inspired because I'm like, now I can make ice cream sandwiches. I can make cookie ice cream sandwiches, or I'm just like excited because you can do lots of things with vanilla ice cream. So yeah, do you think vanilla ice cream is underrated or overrated? Please let me know. I definitely am on the side of it being underrated. I think it deserves a lot more love and respect. That's just my opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Hasta la próxima.